How's it? Today is Tuesday, August 13th. Whew, that's really bright. In 6 weeks, I'm going to try to hit a PR. I don't know if it's going to pan out the way I initially planned for it, but I'm just trying to roll with the punches and get things done as necessary. Today was a back squat day, some overhead presses. I feel like I made a lot of progress today, especially with my shoulder. I know I was complaining about it yesterday, and sometimes it just might get better overnight. I don't think that's what happened, but it's significantly better. And my shoulder, I didn't do anything differently than I normally do. Like on most nights I will do my with the peanut, like the rubber peanut. I would do some upper back thoracic mobility stuff before I go to bed, and then that's it. And that's basically what I did yesterday. And today my back squat wasn't hurting my shoulder, which is a huge win. That's something that's been plaguing me since last like October. Like when I would back squat, my right shoulder would just be in immense amount of pain because it wasn't mobile enough to get to where the positions I needed it to go. Oh, also on my warm ups, I was doing those stupid overhead squats just because if my shoulder gets a little bit, I don't actually know the anatomical position, but when it gets there, it and I can hold the weight overhead, it feels actually really good. So that was trying to use that as a confidence booster or what have you. But I guess going back to the lifting, rambling on for too long. I was back squatting 135 today, which is 10 kilos up from last week because last week again was just a week to start moving after a whole week of non-activity. And yeah, 125 last week was super easy. 135 today was still fairly easy. I do I do not like how I was twisting a lot today. You see here, like I'm trying to counteract that, but every time I push, I end up twisting quite a bit. And so here's me trying to figure out what it feels like to not be twisted, and it definitely feels like I'm twisted left. Whereas when I'm actually lifting, it's you'll see here, right there as I push, my left side kind of twists a little bit further forward, and my right side kind of pushes back. But I think right is it on this next rep. I try to fix it before I push. Yeah, this is me trying to fix me twisting, and it doesn't really work. But yeah, I'm just not super happy with how it's going. And here's me trying to reinforce that anti-twisting movement. I think if I can address that and be better about not twisting, I feel like I will be a healthier lifter overall, and that will allow me to lift more and also be less miserable as I'm doing things. After that, I went into my overhead press. This is the kind of stuff I was talking about earlier. My shoulder felt really good on the squat, which normally it doesn't. But when I started overhead pressing, that shoulder pain started to return. But only as I was on the eccentric portion of the movement. I guess, and also right at the beginning as I push off of the eccentric, if that makes sense. Um, the rest of the range of motion was really fine. So the first rep off of my shoulders feels good. And then that one portion between right where the bar is right above my shoulders to when it touches my shoulder, and then pushing off of again, that's where it started hurting again. It was my first set at 58, so I did 5 5s, and it like the shoulder pain got better. So like it started to go away a little bit more as I was doing the sets. And I don't think it's because I was warmed up more. I think it was because I was a little bit more cognizant of where my shoulder capsule was in space. I feel like if I am trying to get my elbows under the bar to like an aggressive extent, then my shoulder is not in a good position. And I think that is due to a variety of things, but I feel like it could be due to either weak rotator cuffs muscles or not flexible rotator cuff muscles. because as the head of the shoulder kind of sits in the socket, if the rotator cuff doesn't allow my shoulder to articulate, then pushing from that position is gonna hurt. And that is kind of how I imagine it to be. I don't know. I didn't see a PT about this. I'm not a PT. This is just me spitballing some things to rationalize why I feel the way I feel. As far as accessories go, I did some Bulgarian split squats, my dips, GHD hamstring curls, and some back extensions. I think today was a win, to be honest. Like my shoulder again feels so much better than it did yesterday. My hips from last week, kind of, I was worried about that a little bit on Friday and Saturday. I don't feel anything as far as my hips being tight or what have you. So that's super positive. Feels like I am kind of back on track, and that is where I want to be, having lost those 2 weeks. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.